Well, all cool cats know how to ride out the upcoming financial storm, and this is probably a fake kitty on the front of this bike, of course, but that's pretty slick. I should get one of those fake kitties to put on there. I don't doubt that's a real one, but hell, that's funny, man. And I just want to remind you that when I titled this video Operation Grand Slam, but you know how the deal was with Goldfinger. He was going to make all the gold in Fort Knox radioactive on that old James Bond movie. You probably all heard of that one. And that would therefore make his gold that much worth that much more. Well, in this case, what's going to be radioactive is going to be electronic accounts and anything you got in the bank electronically. It's really going to be like Mad Max time coming up here, but maybe it's just going to be down to, I go by that Deagle.com a little bit. I know it's a non-profit military site. Man, they got some really crazy wild forecasts for this country. 313 million population, going all the way down to 64.9 by 2025. And I'm like, I don't see how that can be. But then again, I never could see how, the tech boom crashed so damn bad, how the housing boom came down so bad. And, there's been a lot of smart people like Jim Rogers and Mark Farber talking about this next crash is going to be the doozy of all time. Not just people that are in the alternative media. Now, you might say they're partly in alternative media, but, I can tell you right now, Goldman Sachs has been laying off record numbers of traders. There's been hedge funds. I forgot the damn names of them because maybe I can give them to you, but I know I read this on the major media because I know the steady stream of bullshit garbage that comes out of the alternative media, and I realize a lot of it's disinformation. They've been singing the same song, even though they're giving you correct stuff partly. They're not giving you all the correct stuff. But, I also have to tell you, don't concentrate too heavily on silver, even though it got really close to 20 now. It's getting up there, man. It's got past 19. It's getting close to 20. Actually, when it busts through 20, who the hell knows? And also want to say, be aware of electronic money, besides also the Clintons and the Bushes in prison. Hillary for prison. I like to see this guy back in prison. Bill Gates! Microshaft, man. I gotta put this on here. I don't know if you're a fan of Mike. I used to be a fan of Microsoft back in the 90s. I guess maybe when he was at the helm, but I don't know. I heard so much bad stuff about him from a lot of people that were in the computer world. But it makes me think about him and also his association with the electronic markets. Can you trust electronic markets? See, that's one reason I'm not a fan of Bitcoin. But if you want to go, go ahead, do what you want, man. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just telling you what I do and what my opinion is on things, and I try to bring out facts that other people don't know. That's really what I do on this channel. I don't really say go put your money here and go to this. Well, I do say to put some of your money in silver and gold, and also I think palladium is going to do better than gold in the long run. But that's physical. That's not talking about sticking it in some account in a bank and you got it electronically. Actually, I think even the millennials are waking up. So here's some of the younger millennials. They invested in a Honda. Yeah, it's a Honda, so it's not a Harley, but get what you can afford. And a Honda's a reliable bike. I think that's a 250, 350, whatever the hell it is. That's a standard Japanese type motorcycle, one of the better ones about in that time. And I really behoove you not to go full all out into silver, even though it's looking hot and heavy. And be aware of the setup. I remember last time, was it Bob Chapman? Yeah, it's going to go to 100. And even a lot of people were telling you that, right? And they were selling. Not Chapman, but like David Morgan. Which I don't want to knock him too much, but, at least he tells you to buy silver. But, there's a lot of disinformation guys out there that tell you to go hot and heavy on stuff. And they really, they'll steer you wrong when everything's really exciting about silver. Like right now, it's getting exciting again, starting to. Depends. If you bought it at 14, and you're probably excited now. If you've been holding on and you bought it at 45, you're not excited yet. But if you bought it at 45, I'm going to tell you right now that even if you bought it at 45, you're going to get your money back. When I'm saying it's going to go through 50, I think it's going to go to at least 60. So even if you bought it at 45, you're going to have a 20-something percent, gain. But it probably is going to go to 70, 75. But I'd say easily 60-something. That's conservative. Now it can go a hell of a lot higher. And somebody's going to kick me for saying, if it goes to 100 or 90-something, or it gets 80-something, or whatever the hell it is, I don't know what it can go to. You're going to kick me for saying, because I don't know where to sell it at either. I'm going to sell it at pizzas. Now, the reason I'm showing this police officer and standing in water, this is going to be like, you know, not just the police, but all the people that are tasked with protecting the money people. While the money people are going to be underwater and having all kinds of problems, the police are going to be tasked, and not just the police, but anybody in security, anybody in the FBI, whatever the hell they are. They're actually the lower ones on the rung of the ladder. They're all fighting for like paying bennies and all this kind of crap, and getting in some more, bars on their uniform or some bullshit. And they're going to be tasked with, standing in the muck while the elite are, high and dry in the offices, which is typically the case. I don't, feel, I don't feel so sorry for them in a lot of ways because they chose to freaking protect the elite and sell us out sometimes, or maybe not choose to freaking look down at exactly what goes on. But the thing is, you know, it's a matter of this is a great picture, just how it's going to be for the people that protect our elite. They're going to have a dirty job, and I mean, I kind of feel bad for them, but then again, I'm not feeling too bad for them in a way. That's the whole deal. So that's exactly what's going to happen. So the true blue Americans will be out there freaking waving a flag and all that bullshit. But let me tell you that there's some other things coming up that's telling me that even the people in the major media are really questioning a lot of stuff that's going on with, the Clintons. How is it possible that Goldman Sachs paid Hillary Clinton $675,000 for 3 speeches because they thought the speeches would be really interesting? Yeah, it's not a bribe. And now you got recently in the news, this is like all cracks in the foundation, like, about Loretta Lynch meeting with Bill Clinton and saying, what were you thinking? The nasty bitch that's our attorney general. So, like, I'm telling you right now, a lot of people are starting to wake up, even in the major media, because they realize, it's either Hillary for prison or journalists that don't agree with every little thing she says are going to be in a trash compactor with it turned on. You know what I mean? The major media is starting to figure that out. So I think, like, the cracks of the foundations of the whole crooked financial system are coming down in a lot of different ways. And, I don't want to say, like, I don't want it to be that bad. I mean, I'd rather be like silver goes way up, gold goes way up, platinum and palladium goes way up. But it's always a game whereby, this is like an original selfie here. Here's like the oldest selfie in the world, right? You thought selfies were brand new. This was probably back in, I don't know, the 20s. The elite are very much concerned with how they appear to the public. Everything's an image. That's a fact. And it doesn't even matter if they're a CP, like there's people in business. I mean, yeah, there's the people like Soros and Trump, Yeah, Trump and Soros, actually, they're partners on a lot of shit too, man, But there's people also like that are, in business that own businesses that could be worth like $100 million or more. Then there's people that maybe work for them indirectly. Maybe they're a doctor, an attorney, CPA, whatever the hell it is, financial consultant. They're all concerned with the public image. All these professional people are concerned with public image, including like the elite. And it's like that with the whole layer of strata. And let me tell you that, a matter of fact, that people will not go ahead and risk their reputation. Everything they do, the elite does, is a matter of image. If they don't have that image, they're screwed. And you know what's going on right now? Their image is getting pummeled from all different sides because of all the stuff that's going on. There's so much corruption. Because all the people that are attached with the strata of, the links going all the way up the chain, they're all attached on the top to the corrupt corporate Wall Street. Why did Goldman Sachs pay the Clintons $675,000 for 3 speeches, right? 3 speeches. Yeah, I mean, it's not just putting it on the Clinton, Hillary, but also it's putting it on Goldman Sachs. Now Goldman Sachs is also firing a record number of traders. Yeah, so I mean, they're going down. And of course, Mr. Obama, he don't give a shit. He's like, I'm just a nice little president. I'm going to have transsexuals in our military and shit. Who's that? Ash Carter, the Secretary of Defense, whatever the hell he was, putting transsexuals in the military. Man, I mean, I'm all for like freaking equal rights, but you know what? Military, it's all about military necessity. But see, that's another indication that we probably got communists on the top that are looking to actually dismantle the USA. They can't cut the budget. And this all goes along with the financial system because you know what? Military might can keep your country going stronger financially for a longer period of time. As a matter of, like, in other words, if our military can push policy in other countries to our economic advantage, um, that keeps the coffers flowing into Wall Street. Now, I know Wall Street is not dedicated to Wall Street. They're just dedicated to as much money and power as they possibly can. They're not actually dedicated to this country, though. They're only dedicated to money. So, in other words, they could go anywhere. They can go to China or whatever the hell it is, or they can go to Russia or whatever the hell it is. But let me tell you that the money, in other words, if our military power gets weakened, that's another indication we're going down financially. Now, even if we got the money to pay for all this military spending, which we don't, what's going to happen in the long run if it's like kind of gutted from the inside with all these politically correct bullshit policies they have? Because there's a reason why what do you call it? You have certain things in the military. Why even you wouldn't? Somebody say, "Oh, ban out sheep." Why would you wouldn't even have gays or lesbians in the military, right? I mean, it's not like it's not a what do you call it? An equal opportunity employee. It's military necessity. Why can't I be in the military? Because I'm over 60 years old. It doesn't matter. Actually, if I fucking worked out a lot like I used to, and I actually went back into this for a while when I was in my 50s, I was working out 3 hours a day, 365 days a week. I did that for 4 years straight, and I just got off of it for a while. And I just, for the last several years now, but I actually gotten freaking about as good a shape I ever was. I was in my mid 50s. But I'd never be able to go in the military due to age, right? So why couldn't I just go back in the military at 60 something and just start working out again? Because it's like military necessity. Maybe there's something else. Maybe I could do the job freaking physically, but then maybe there's something about me that I'm older. I just wouldn't be able to rebound as well if I was hurt as a younger person, or withstand maybe as much stress as a young person. If I was going to have to stay awake for like 72 hours in a row or something, maybe I couldn't handle it as well. I don't know. Maybe I could. Maybe I couldn't. I don't know. I'm not sure. I like to think I could. But it's military necessity. It's not. That's why you have these rules. It's not like they're against the older people, or why did they not have people in the military that are 13 or 12? There's a reason for it. So it's the same reason they don't have transgenders, but they're like kind of wrecking the military from the inside. And so I'm not putting down transgenders or nothing. It's like I don't really give a shit. I'm not putting down anybody. But there's a thing called military necessity, and they just threw that out the door. And I'm going to tell you the reason that they threw it out the door is that it's a way to dismantle the United States financially, because without our military clout, even assuming we have the power to keep spending that money, keep the military expenditures going, if without that military clout, in a real sense, which is being diminished from the inside, it's demoralizing people. Guess what's going to happen? We're going to lose our financial clout in the world. And, Obama, he couldn't handle a real woman, because I think he is a woman. I don't know. But, yeah, it's going to come down to, Operation Grand Slam basically is like there's kind of an independence movement going on. Now, I'm not sure really to deal with what happened with Britain. I know, like, the alternative media is talking about, yeah, the Brexit, that shows the change. The European Union is going to fall apart. I don't know if they are. I don't know. I'm not really 110% sure. There could be because anytime you think you're winning, even if you are winning, the force is going to come back and try to find something else to do. Don't jump for joy too much, because it's almost like you want to be cautious. It's like you don't want to be negative, but I remember even back in the day when they had the Roman emperors, when they were going down, in a triumvirate down the street, there was like, after a great conquest, there would always be somebody that, all the crowds were cheering, and, the prisoners of war were coming in the back in chains, and, they defeated the enemy. Rome took on this much more land. There was always somebody right next to him that was tasked with whispering in his ear, "This too shall pass." So when you have a victory, you want to celebrate that victory, but beware that the end of the whole battle is lifelong. Not to concentrate on that and worry about it too much, but anytime you don't think you're going to defeat very, very smart, elitists are not smart, are not up elitists or the top 1 basis point, 1% of 1%, due to the fact that they're dumb and they just were born into it. No, they're very smart, they're very ambitious, and they never sleep on the job, basically. They're freaking constantly looking for ways to turn a defeat into a victory. So when you thought you won over them, they'll find a way to freaking, turn that into a victory. Just like with Fast and Furious with Obama. That was like a defeat when it turned out that Fast and Furious with Obama was, and Garrick Holder, was they were trying to bring weapons into Mexico to prove that, you know, they were deliberately doing that to prove that the weapons are coming from Mexico, so they brought them to Mexico on purpose, and then it got exposed, and border agents got killed, and innocent Mexicans got killed, and it got turned, but how to change that defeat of the Obama policies into a victory. He appointed somebody in charge of the BATF that was very much for a hell of a lot more gun laws and restrictions, so they'll interpret things different ways. So, it's almost like if the Brexit is something as a partial victory right now, I don't know. Maybe they'll try to get Scotland into the European Union. I don't know. Who the hell knows? And then kind of make, push Britain off onto its side. I don't really know. Obama's a piece of crap. He's not very smart, though. I can tell you that right now. He's not that intelligent. I mean, he's not blatantly stupid, like some people who don't like him like to say that. But he's not that smart. You see, like I could talk without a teleprompter. I never talk off a script ever. When I'm on these videos, I never have anything in front of me I'm reading or nothing. As a matter of fact, you probably see that when I'm doing face-to-face videos. I never use anything like that. I'm actually far more intelligent than Obama. I can tell you that right now. I don't know why the hell he's president, because he's an Uncle Tom, and he's chosen and sell out by the elite, for the elite. He's a sellout. But be that as it may, let me just tell you that silver probably is going to get legs. And I'll also tell you that the hedge funds have predicted that over the next 4 years, and I don't think it's going to be 4 years, that oil is going to go back up to $100 a barrel plus. It might be a year. If it does that, I mean, silver could very easily top $50 in a year. I don't know. Could. I mean, the thing is, you got to watch with silver. You're better off have it not go up too fast, too quickly, because when it goes up too fast, too quickly with silver, it crashes. It's almost like a given. It's like I'd rather be a little more patient and let it go up fast, like kind of fast. I mean, if you're getting 20 or 30% gains a year, that's fast. I mean, some people want to have like double their money every 3 months. If it's doing something crazy like doubling inside of 3 months, it's probably getting ready to crash. That's usually how you can tell when it starts going hyperbolic. And everybody's in the alternative media who are disinformation agents are going to be, a lot of them are. And the lesser alternative media are just following the disinformation agents. They'll be telling you that, oh, it's going to the moon, you buy it at any cost, the dollar's going. Maybe the dollar will go to zero, but I think the dollar is only going to go to zero if we get nuked or something. If we get nuked, I mean, you're not going to give a damn about having silver coins. You're going to be giving a damn about having a radiac meter, activated charcoal, lots of vitamin C to counteract the freaking radiation, liposomol, and things like that. You want a generator. I mean, really, you want plenty of stored food. I mean, we're not going to get nuked, I don't think. We might have actually, though, an EMP that could bring down our banking system. I don't think that would be out of the realm. And, if the banking system is crashing, let me put it this way. This is not really a conspiracy theory. Because, say, for instance, the banking system is actually crashing, and it's due to crappy policies of Wall Street and Washington, D.C., and the Federal Reserve and all this other garbage. And right now, they're trying to make everything look rosy, right? It looks like the banking system is crashing to me. Even the major media has been talking about it for the last year or so, and the stock markets haven't been doing that good. And even the major hedge fund operators are talking like, don't invest in the stock market over the next 10 years. You're not going to get great returns. They've been saying this for more than a year. Now, nothing's really crashed, though, really, except kind of like during the Brexit, things crashed for, a day or two. But, They haven't they sprang back up, and silver and gold springing up. And, gold got legs during the Brexit exit, right? The Britain exit. But let me tell you this: the thing is that when if things are really going to crash, they would rather like have a cover story that caused the crash rather than we screwed up. That is why I very highly suspect that there will be an EMP allowed to happen so that when there's a crash, they could tell you it was because of an EMP. Whereas it was just getting ready to happen, and now we have a cover story. And that would be the Operation Grand Slam, because then anything that's on paper or in an electronic account is going to be a problem, especially if you did not print off your electronic statements and you just saved your electronic statements in electronic format on your local computer, and you had problems and you don't have printed because nobody's got printed. Even if stuff on paper doesn't go away, you have a hard time getting to come back. But in the case of an EMP, if you don't have it printed on paper, you're going to be screwed. You probably will be. And that is really how they can automatically reset stuff without actually resetting it formally. I mean, to me, I'm not giving any elitist any ideas here, because I can tell you right now, it's pretty much one-on-one given. Don't tell me they won't pull that. They can. They would. I mean, figure it out. Be in their shoes. Say, for instance, all the markets are going to be coming down, the dollar's going to be crashing. There's nothing they can do about it, right? I mean, because, what the hell is holding up the dollar right now? I mean, Saudi is our petrodollar. Saudi is now being forced to trade with China. Saudi is getting clobbered because of the low oil prices. Yeah, they might go up, but they've been burning through their reserves left and right. They're also at odds with Washington, D.C., because Congress has allowed the 911 victims to sue the Saudi family for their participation in the hijacking of the planes. And Saudi has turned around and said it was the U.S. government that did it. So there's a split there. And Saudi is getting hurt so bad financially now. And I think the policy of bringing the oil down was to actually try to contain Russia's military expansion. And Saudi is actually now being forced to pretty much go with China. And China's not going to use dollars. They're going to only use Chinese yuan and the special drawing rights Asian currency that's backed by special drawing rights. What is that? Asian currency would host of Asian currencies and gold. They're not going to use a dollar. So how would the dollar be propped up? How would the petrodollar be propped up if Saudi starts moving away from it? It's going to crash, right? I mean, that's not like it's conspiracy theory. That's how the dollar's been propped up since '73, since we went off the gold standard, right? Yeah, so I mean, it's a given. So if everything's going to start coming down, and the shale oil industry was the big, real bright spot in this country, and everything's going to start going down, including hopefully Bill Gates. What do you think is going to happen? What do you think is going to happen? I would think they need an EMP to say, look, that's why the markets came down. The terrorists did it. Ooh, look, it was some other country did this, and that caused our markets to go down. Now we got to go to war, and meantime, you lost all your money, but it wasn't our fault. Okay, so you know what I mean. That would be like that's why Operation Grand Slam is actually kind of like a correct word, but it's not going to be the same way that Goldfinger did it. It's going to be the way the elite are going to do it, whereby they're going to make all the electronic accounts more or less radioactive by an EMP. You're not going to be able to access your accounts, and you're going to lose whatever the hell you got in the markets, or most people will. I mean, eventually, probably some people will get a lot of it back if they keep paper statements, but a lot of people aren't doing that. And if a lot of people die due to the calamity that occurs from an EMP and a power outage, well, those people, those accounts won't get straightened out for umpteen years. By that time, that money's just going to be gone. It's going to be like nothing I could do about it. It was an act of war, right? I mean, Do you think there was insurance companies when Dresden got bombed in Germany that says, "Oh, here's all the money in the world. You can rebuild the whole city again." No, it ain't gonna happen. Now, I don't know if we're gonna get bombed or something, but the EMP thing I think is fairly, it's pretty close to. I think it's not out of stretch of imagination. Not that I think it's gonna happen next year, next week, or anything, but this is why you got physical stuff, and don't put all your eggs into one basket. As a matter of fact, right after I do this video, I'm going to go order my mini mill because money transfer went over to the other account, and I'm going to order from another account, and mini end mill. And I think when I get that in, I set that up, I'll get the lathe, and then when I got my grinders and my mini drill press and all that, hey, I can make any part I need. I could be MacGyver, man, self-sufficient and all that kind of garbage. And to me, buying this mini end mill might turn out to be worth more than silver in the long run by far. So, like, I don't want you to be totally into one thing, but if you are despondent that you bought silver at 45, just keep hanging on. Don't even sell it at 30 because it's going to go past 30. It might go 30 to 20, then all over the place, but it will go. You get all your money back plus a sizable percentage. And if you haven't bought silver at all and you don't own any silver, get some, but don't go hog wild on it. Don't listen to the people that tell you got to put all. I never said do that. Put all your money in silver. Always said it was a high risk, high reward, possible high reward investment. That's how commodities are. But you know, I'm laughing about this shit with Loretta Lynch, man. I was reading this story, man. There's nothing to do with silver, but she's like, people were saying, "How come you met with Bill Clinton? What were you thinking?" I was like, "Holy shit!" Well, yeah, I was thinking how he wants the email scandal covered up. Shit's fucking bitch. Yeah, put her in a trash compactor, and then the major media's coming out with stories like, yeah, Goldman Sachs paid Hillary Clinton $675 million for 3 speeches because they thought, she had a lot of cool things to say. So, here's 225,000 speech, right? Goldman, you know what? You guys are yo-yos, man. I tell you what. Goldman Sachs, I'll let you borrow my mini end mill. But I'm going to watch you because you don't screw it up for like $10,000 an hour shop hour. There's that. Get a better deal out of that than one of freaking Hillary's speeches. That's for sure. Anyway, a major Clinton donor ended up on a State Department nuclear advisory board for perfectly innocent reasons and all this kind of garbage. Yeah, I mean the major media is starting to pick up that if Hillary gets in, the major media might wind up in a trash compactor or something or in a wood chipper. So they're starting to freaking fight back even on the Clintons a little bit too. Cracks in the wall, man. Cracks in the wall. Which tells me, everything's going underwater. But if you're a millennial, hey, you know what? To tell you the truth, if you find a good used Honda like these little millennials are on, that wouldn't be a bad bet too if you don't have a bike. If the world caves in or something like that and you got to go Mad Max. There you go. There's 3 little Mad Maxes on this bike right now, right? What the hell, right? What the hell? That's why I'm saying don't get tunnel vision on this. The jerks with the tie. I used to wear a tie all the time, too. I don't like playing that game anymore. Tie and a suit. I've been wearing a tie and a suit since I was like 14. Basically, it's like I could play that game. But, usually these people that walk around with a tie and a suit, they're full of it, right? They don't know how to do anything. They wouldn't know how to freaking change the tire on this bike or adjust the spokes. I could. You got to know everything. You got to know everything. And obviously, the fact that silver's getting legs now due to Brexit. Also, all the major hedge funds are saying oil's going to be over 100 within 4 years. I'm saying it's going to be over 100 in freaking 1 year. That's going to make silver like probably double in price by next year for all I know. But then I don't want it to go up too fast because if it goes up too fast, it crashes. If you see it go hyperbolic and it's like a hockey stick, I don't want to tell you what to do, but I know I'll be selling some for sure. And I know other people will be buying like crazy because the major alternative media will be saying the dollar is going to zero. Dollar ain't going to zero unless we get nuked, and I don't expect us to get nuked. I think we might have an EMP, but I don't think that's going to happen right away either. It might take a few years at least, but when it does, that's their cover story for why the system crashed, and that's probably why there probably will be an EMP because they got to need a cover story. That would be the ultimate Operation Grand Slam, right? Make all your electronic accounts basically radioactive. And we can blame Bill Gates on that, right? Right, Bill? You. We can blame you on that. Because all your electronic shit, you started this crap. At least he's smiling for the photo, right? I think it was when he was speeding with his Porsche or some shit. Anyway, over and out.